What's good, y'all? Welcome to day 3, weeks 1 and 2 of your Kinstretch program. Today, we're gonna be working on some of our accessory joints that don't typically get so much love. So the wrist, elbows, and ankles. All right, so we'll start to get nice and warmed up with our cars. Let's start in a quad position. Start with spinal segmentation. So we're just gonna go 3 each way. Stack those wrists under the shoulders, knees under those hips. And let's start from our lower back. So we're slowly moving to extension, doing our best to move 1 vertebra at a time and start back at that low back, pushing everything away. Exhale when you get to your max flexion. 2 more. Just take your time. Think like you're squeezing those hands and knees close to each other. Squeeze that extension, head comes up last. Start back at that low back. Breathe and flex, push everything away. 1 more here. Doing your best again to move 1 vertebra at a time. Back at the low back. Exhale as you push everything away. And perfect. Okay, so we're gonna hit our wrist and elbows. So we'll go 1 at a time to start. So remember with the wrist, think like you're holding a cell phone on your forearm and don't let it fall. Okay, do your best to keep your fingers in line with your palm. And we're just gonna go 2 each way to start. So we're gonna go down, in, up, out. 1 more that way. Just move it nice and slow. Up, out. And then let's take it back the other way. Down, out, up, in. Good, once more. Down, out, up, in, and finish. Okay, let's switch to the other side. Glue that elbow, and we'll start to move down, in, up, out. And we're moving through your max safest range of motion here. We don't want any pain while we're doing these cars. And then let's take it back the other way. Down, out, up, in, down, once more, up, in, and nice. Okay, elbows next. So we're gonna go 3 here. So again, glue those elbows to the sides. We're gonna start to come up with the hands. You just see the hands should be outside of the shoulders. Flip. Now they should be inside of the shoulders. Straight down, straight back up, flip, and back down. 2 more like that. Up, in. Just doing your best to keep those elbows nice and tight to the sides. Slightly forward as we come up, out, down. Once more. Up, in, down, and then right back up, out, down. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna get our knees and ankles. So we'll go both on one side, then switch. So if you wanna grab your hamstring here. So right now, we're gonna try to rotate the tibia in and out. So our full car, we're gonna come out, extend the leg up as much as you can, rotate in, back down. Once more, out, up, in, down. Now keep it there. We're gonna go right back up, out, down. Once more, in, up, out, down. Okay, now if you wanna grab the front of your shin, now we don't want the lower leg to rotate. We're just gonna do a couple ankle cars. So we're gonna go down, in. As you come up, spread the toes as best as you can. Come out, peel them down together. as you come down, in, spread as we come up, peel them together as we come down, and then let's take it back the other way, down, out, spread as we come up, in, peel them together as you come down, once more, up, spread, in, peel, and relax. Nice. Okay, let's switch. So grab that hamstring, whole lower leg, we want rotating once more. So let's rotate out, extend up, in, and down. Straight out, up, in, down, and then keep it right there. We're gonna go right back up, out, down, once more, in, up, out, down. Okay, grab that shin, 2 ankle cars. So let's come down, in, spread those toes as you come up, peel them together as we go down. Once more, spread as you come up, out, peel them together as you come down. And then we'll take it back the other way, down, out, spread as we come up, peel them together as we come in. Once more, out, up, spread, in, peel them together, and down. Nice. Okay, so first base position, we're gonna be working on extension of our wrist, okay? So we'll be here in a quad position. Now this can get a little intense for some people, so just kind of play with what feels good. But you want to get to a place where you can't lift your fingers off the ground. So what it's going to look like is you're just going to shift forward until you get a nice stretch in the front of those wrists. Okay, feel free to have like a pillow or something under your knees if it's too intense in this position. You can also do this on the wall, which is just fine. Okay, but we're going to be here. So I'll explain pails. So pails, what you're going to do is you're going to be driving your fingers down into the ground. Rails, you're going to be driving the bottom of your palms into the ground and trying to lift the fingers off the ground. So if you were to come out the in range, they would actually lift. Okay, so we have 2 sets of pails and rails, 50%, 75%, and then we're going to do some passive range liftoffs, cars, and we'll go to elbows. Okay, so we'll start this first set. So we're going to take a big breath in. Brace your core and slowly start to drive those fingertips down into the ground at 20% max effort. Double how hard you're pushing, 40. See if you can push a little bit harder, 50% and hold. We're going 20 seconds here. So just breathe, keep that tension nice and heavy down into the ground. Last 10. If it gets too intense, feel free to let up a little bit. But we got 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax, stay in the stretch. Now right to rails. You're gonna drive the bottom of those palms down and try to think light on the fingertips. So whenever you're ready, 3, 2, 1, try to lift up very lightly. This can get super intense. But you just feel a nice contraction on the back of those wrists. Again, thinking light on the fingers, heavy in those in the bottom of your palms. Keep the tension. We got 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, see if you can sink a little bit deeper into the stretch by either shifting forward, but if it feels good where you're at, stay there. That's just fine. We're gonna go one more, about 75% of our max effort. We're just gonna hold for 10 seconds today, both pails and rails. All right, so here we go. Big breath in, trap that air in the belly, and let's slowly start to drive those fingertips down into the ground once more, 20% max effort. Double that tension, 40. Harder, 60. Your whole body's driving a little harder. 70, and hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, right to rails. 3, 2, 1. Try to lift those fingertips off the ground and hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax, stay in that stretch. Okay, so we're gonna go 5 passive range liftoffs here, okay? So you're gonna initiate a rails contraction. We're gonna hold the tension, and we're gonna hinge back until the fingertips barely come off the ground. Okay, we're gonna hold each one about 3 to 5 seconds, and we have 5 reps. So here we go. Initiate your rails, so light on the fingertips. Hold the tension as we hinge back. Fingertips will come off, hold, relax. Okay, 4 more like that. Initiate your rails, light on the fingertips, heavy in the bottom of the palms. Sit back until the fingertips barely come off the ground and hold. And relax. Last 3. Initiate that rails, hold that tension, hinge until those fingertips barely come off, hold, relax. Last 2, big breath, light fingertips, hold that tension, hinge back until they barely come off, hold, relax. Last one here. Initiate that rails once more. Drive, hold that tension, sit back until they barely come off, hold, and relax. Nice. Okay, we're gonna follow up with some cars here. We'll go both at the same time. Okay, so let's start to come down, in, up, out, down. Good, one more that way. Just take your time, moving through that max, safest range of motion here. Good, let's take it back. If this is your first time doing wrist, I know this can be very intense. Down, out, one more, up, in, down, out. Perfect. Okay, take a second, shake it out. And then we're gonna move, we're working on elbow pronation today. Okay, so if you have a PVC pipe, this can kind of help with feedback, but you don't need it. You can also just use your hand. So I'll do one set with it, one set without, just to give you guys a different view. Okay, but what pronation is you're gonna rotate all the way in as much as you can like this. Okay, pails, we're gonna be trying to rotate back out this way. Rails, you're gonna try to rotate down towards the ground. So if you have a feedback, try to push up and don't let yourself, okay? So first set, I'll do it with the PVC. Second, I'll drop it and we'll just use our hand, okay? So if you have a pipe or something, put the hand on top. We're gonna start with the light pails contraction. So I'm gonna try to rotate up into the hand. So let's take a big breath. Glue the elbow to the side and let's slowly start to rotate up into that hand at 20% max effort. Double that tension, 40. A little bit harder, 50, and hold. Good, just breathe. It's nice and heavy into my upper hand. My elbow's super tight. Keep that tension best you can. We got 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, now if you're using a PVC, flip that hand. And what you're gonna try to do is try to pull up, but don't let yourself. So here we go, 3, 2, 1, very light. So I'm trying to pull up with this opposite hand, holding my position with my elbow. Should feel very intense here, even if you're not going super hard. Give me 10 more seconds. Keep rotating. We got 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay. I'm just gonna drop this just to give you guys a different view. If you're not using a PVC pipe, you'll just use your other hand as feedback. Okay, so same thing. Pails trying to rotate back this way. Rails trying to rotate down further towards the ground. So this set, we have 75% of our max effort. 10 seconds today. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a big breath, trap that air in the belly, and start to rotate that fist outward, 20%. Double that tension, 40. Keep pushing harder, 60. Little harder, hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, right to rails. Now I'm gonna try to rotate down this way towards the ground. Hold, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly relax. Okay, so we're gonna follow up with some elbow axial rotations. So we're gonna come out as much as we can, and then we're gonna come in as much as we can. Okay, if it helps, you can keep that fist all the way out. Make sure the elbow staying nice and glued to the side, all the way in, fighting for as much range of motion as you can. One more each, all the way out. And then all the way in. Okay, now we have 2 elbow cars here. So we're gonna bring it up, out, down, back up, in, down. Once more, up, out, down, and then straight back up, in, and down. Nice. Okay, let's switch it up. You'll see one side might feel different than the other. So again, I'll do this first set. If you have a PVC pipe, so you're gonna rotate in and down as much as you can. Give yourself some feedback with the top hand. Glue the elbow to the side. And let's start our light pails contraction. So we're gonna take a big breath. Where you're trying to rotate back up this way. Brace the core. And we'll slowly start to rotate at 20% max effort. Double that tension, 40. See if you can push a little harder, 50, and hold. So 20 seconds here. You're rotating up into that hand or fist if you don't have a PVC pipe. So just breathe, keep that tension. Let's go, 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly relax. Okay, now if you wanna flip your tension, now you're gonna try to pull up. Don't let yourself for rails. So 3, 2, 1, hold. Make sure the elbow stays nice and glued to the side. You should feel your forearm nice and fired up here. Keep that tension. You're trying to rotate that fist closer to the ground. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly relax. Okay, again, second set. See if you can rotate down just a little bit more. We got 75% here of our max effort, 10 seconds today. Okay, so here we go. Our next breath, inhale, and I'm trying to rotate up this way. My hand's not letting me. So let's start to rotate, 20% max effort. Double that tension, 40. Harder, 60. Bit harder, hold that tension for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly relax. Okay, right to rails. Try to rotate that fist down towards the ground this way and hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly relax. Okay, axials here. So let's start to rotate out as much as we can. Good, and in as much as we can. So again, keeping that elbow nice and glued to the side, all the way out. Fighting for as much range of motion as you can at that in range, all the way in. One more each, all the way out. All the way in. And relax. Okay, 2 elbow cars. So we'll come straight up, out, down, straight back up, in, down. Once more, up, out, down, and then straight back up, in, down. Nice. Okay, wrists and elbows complete. We're gonna move on to our last base position today. This is called the cowboy stance, but we're gonna be working on ankle dorsiflexion. Okay, so again, this might be a little uncomfortable for some. So if you need like a block or something to sit on for your butt, it's just fine. If your back ankle is a little tight, but we're gonna be working on this front one. Okay, so to find our stretch, you're gonna drive this knee forward until you get a stretch right in the front of your ankle, okay? And this is where we're gonna do our working sets. Okay, so I'll explain pails and rails. So pails, we're gonna be driving the toes down into the ground. So think like you're trying to push a pedal. And rails, heels super heavy, trying to lift those toes up off the ground, okay? So same cadence today, 50%, 75%, and then we'll do some passive range liftoffs and some cars. Okay. So first one, let's take a big breath in, trap that air in the belly, and let's slowly start to drive those toes down into the ground while keeping the heel down as well at 20% max effort. Double that tension, 40. Let's push a little bit harder, 50, and hold. So we have 20 seconds here, driving straight down. Feel that ankle. It might be bleeding up to your hip a little bit, which is just fine. Just keep pushing. We got 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Stay in that hinge. So right to rails. So 3, 2, 1. Now drive the heel down. Try to lift the toes up off the ground. You shouldn't be able to since you're in your in range. We should feel these muscles here nice and fired up. Maybe a little bit back here as well. And just breathe. Keep that tension. Keep thinking light on the toes. We got 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. See if you can sink a little bit deeper into that ankle dorsiflexion while keeping that heel on the ground. Let's take a couple recovery breaths here. And then we got one more, 75% of our max effort. Okay, here we go. So next breath, let's inhale. Brace the core. Start to drive those toes nice and heavy into the ground. 20% max effort. 40. Your whole body's driving now at 60. Push a bit harder, 70, and hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, right to rails. 3, 2, 1. Now we're thinking light on the toes, heavy in the heel. Try to lift and hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Again, stay in that stretch. Okay, we got 5 passive range holds here. So we're gonna initiate our rails contraction. You're gonna try to lift those toes up off the ground. You're gonna keep that tension, and you're gonna hinge the whole body back until their toes barely come off the ground. Again, we'll hold that for 3 to 5 seconds, and we have 5 reps. Okay, so here we go. Starting your in range. Let's initiate that rails contraction. So max safest effort, heavy in the heel. Hold that, hinge until those toes barely come off the ground, and hold. And relax. Okay, 4 more like that. Initiate that rails, heavy heel, keep the tension, hinge back until the toes barely come off the ground, hold, and relax. Last 3. Good tension, light toes, hold that, hinge back till those toes barely come off, hold, relax. Last 2. Initiate that rails, keep that tension, hinge back until those toes come off the ground, hold, right back forward. Last one here, heavy heel, try to lift those toes up off the ground, keep that tension, hinge back, hold, and relax. Whew. Okay, we got 2 ankle cars, and then we'll switch to the other side. So if you want to grab that shin once more, we're going to go down, in, up, spread those toes, peel them together as you come down. Once more, in, up, spread, peel, and take it back, down, out, spread as we come up, in, peel them together. Once more, out, spread, in, and relax. Nice. Okay, last side. So we'll flip. Again, you may feel a little difference on one side than the other. So just take your time here, get into a good position. Again, if you need like a cushion or something for your butt, feel free. Okay, so we're gonna find our in-range dorsiflexion by driving this knee forward. You should feel a nice stretch in the front of your shin. Okay, we're gonna go 2 sets of pails and rails here. So pails driving down, rails trying to lift those toes up off the ground. Okay, here we go. Let's start our first set. So let's take a big breath in, trap that air in that belly, and let's slowly start to drive those toes down into the ground. It's like you're pushing a pedal at 20%. Double that tension, 40. Let's push a little bit harder, 50, and hold. So we got 20 seconds here. Again, if you do have some tight ankles or hips, you might feel this up into that hip joint, which is just fine. Keep driving, your whole body's tight for 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Stay in that in range. We're gonna go right to rails. 3, 2, 1. Now drive the heel into the ground. Try to lift the toes up. We're looking for a contraction right here in the front of your shin. So just breathe. Try to get those muscles nice and fired up. Keep that tension, light on the toes. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. See if you can sink a little bit deeper into that stretch. We'll take a couple recovery breaths here. Try to relax in there. And then we got one more, 75% today. 10-second hold, both pails and rails. Okay, here we go. So next breath, let's inhale. Trap that air in the belly. and we'll start to initiate our pails, driving those toes down into the ground at 20% max effort. Double that tension, 40. Push harder, your whole body's tight, 60%. Bit harder, 70, and hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Right to rails. 3, 2, 1. I'll try to drive that heel, try to lift the toes up and hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly relax. Okay, let's stay in that in range. And now we have 5 passive range liftoffs. So we're gonna initiate that rails and we're gonna hinge back until the toes barely come off the ground. Okay, 5 reps, about 3-second hold each. So it's big breath, drive the heel, try to lift the toes up, hold that tension as we hinge back till the toes barely come off the ground, and relax. Okay, 4 more. Initiate that rails, try to drive those toes off the ground, hold the tension, hinge the whole body back until those toes barely come off, hold, relax. Last 3. Initiate that rails, try to lift those toes up, hold the tension, hinge the whole body back until they barely come off, hold, relax. 2 more here. Initiate that rails, heavy heel, light toes. Keep the tension as we hinge back, hold, relax. Last one. Good tension, initiate the rails, hold that, hinge, and relax. Nice. Okay, we just finished up with these cars. So 2 ankles, grab the shin. Let's come down, in, up, out. Once more, down, up. Spread those toes, peel them together. Then we'll take it back, down, out, spread as we come up, in, peel. Once more, up, in, down, and relax. Nice. That's a wrap.